Welcome back to Yoga by Paige. Today I'm going to introduce you to a nice gentle flow that actually has no chatarangas. So if your shoulders are bothering you or even your wrists, this will be a really great flow that will maintain accessibility. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to come down into downward facing dog. So whenever you're ready, you can just start to pedal out the legs. Connect to your breath. Finding a nice big inhalation, filling the lungs for a count of 5. A nice big exhalation, filling the lungs for a count of 5. Starting to feel this breath move through the body. Connecting, moving, breathing. Deciding how you want to feel today after this practice together. One more big breath, inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, you'll walk your hands back to your feet at the back of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Let's toe heel our feet so that they're hip width distance apart, and put a generous bend in the knees. Allow the rib cage to drape over the thighs and grab opposite elbows. Head can hang heavy here as you find a nice ragdoll hang, just finding a little bit of a sway here side to side. Let the head be nice and heavy. Gravity can help you. Feel length through your spine, stretching out through the lower back, and even a little bit here into the hamstrings. Allowing the mind to quiet from the busyness of our day. One more big breath. On your exhale, release the hands down to the ground. Either keep the fingertips on the ground or press them into your shins. We'll lengthen out the legs and lengthen out the spine, reaching the crown of the head all the way forward. And then exhaling into forward fold. Pull the navel to the spine, gentle bend in the knees, chin to chest. Slowly rise all the way up for that mountain pose. Glide the shoulders down away from your ears. Begin to lift the hands, lift the gaze. Draw hands to heart center. Take a moment to connect. Inhale. And exhale. We'll circle sweep arms all the way up nice and high. Exhaling into our forward fold. Halfway lift on your inhale, fingertips to the ground or to your shins. Exhaling down. Try to keep your legs nice and straight. This time we'll walk forward into high plank, arriving in your high plank and pausing. Hug the shoulders back, push the ground away, drawing the navel up into the spine. Shift forward to the toes and slowly, 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 all the way to your belly. On the exhale, untuck your toes, roll the shoulders out of your ears, and staying really light on the wrists, peel your chest up so that you're in a low cobra. Maybe if you want to, you can lift your hands up off the ground. Inhale here, and then exhale down. We'll rock back to child's pose, drawing your hips to your heels, the forehead to the ground. Taking a nice big deep breath in your child's pose. And then exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, rock yourself up into a tabletop position. We'll tuck the toes, lift the hips, making our way back into downward facing dog. Nice big deep breath in down dog. Inhale. And exhale. And then this time we'll look at our hands and begin to walk the feet forward into our forward fold. Fingertips to mat or shins, find your halfway lift. Exhaling down into your forward fold. Start to squeeze through the glutes and your core. Slowly rise all the way up to that mountain pose, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, hands back down to heart center. So we'll start to shift the weight here. We're going to step the right leg back as far as you can into a crescent lunge. So we're going to stack that left knee on top of your left ankle. Squeeze everything into your midline so you're getting a nice big stretch to the front of that right leg. When you're ready, you could reach the arms up. Take a nice big deep breath here in your crescent lunge. Then exhale, hands right back to heart center. Take an inhale here, and on your exhale, just draw your left shoulder back. Inhale, center, and then exhale to the left. Inhaling, center, exhale to the left, And this time you're going to descend, dropping your right elbow all the way down to that left thigh. Take a nice big deep breath here in this crescent twist. Feeling length through the backside body, strength through your back leg. Slowly beginning to work your hands towards heart center. We have one more inhale. And exhale. Pushing off of that front leg, reach the hands all the way up to the sky. Big inhale to rise up into your crescent lunge. Exhaling, plant your hands down to the ground. Step back into high plank pose. And then shift back into downward facing dog. Taking a nice big deep breath in your down dog to reset here. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, look forward to your hands and slowly begin to walk your feet forward, arriving in that forward fold. We'll find the halfway lift, lengthening legs and chest. Exhaling into forward fold. Root to rise, pressing through your heels, come all the way back up into your mountain pose. Exhaling, hands through heart center. And now this time we'll step that left leg back. So step the left leg back as far as you can, up onto the ball of that left foot. Squeezing the legs in towards center. Take a nice big deep inhale here. And then slowly reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, hold. Arriving here, starting to cinch in around the waist. Feel the strength of your foundation. Take one more breath. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Big inhalation here. And we'll take those twists to the right this time. Draw your right shoulder back. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Last one here. Exhale, pull that right shoulder back. And now your left elbow can hook on your right thigh. Pressing your right hand into your left, spinning your chest open nice and wide. Feel the strength of your legs squeeze into your midline. Pressing your right hand into the left to keep your chest open nice and long. One more big breath. Pushing off of your front leg, we'll rise up back into that crescent lunge. Big stretch up, arriving in your power. Exhale, plant the hands down on the ground. You'll step back into high plank pose and then shift it back to your downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, you're welcome to float the elbows down to the ground to dolphin pose, or even find a child's pose, knees together or wide, whatever serves you best today. We'll rest here for 2 more breaths. One more. Feeling the lungs and finding that emptiness. And then begin to look forward, come into your tabletop position, planting the toes underneath. You'll send the hips up nice and high for that downward facing dog. Taking a moment in downward facing dog to press the ground away with your hands. Reach your heels back towards the ground. And just as we did before, we'll look forward to our hands, bending the knees. And you're welcome to continue walking towards your fingers or hopping towards your fingers. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhaling all the way back down. Root to rise, finding that mountain pose, allowing this to be a starting point for each of these standing sequences. Exhale, hands to heart center. From your mountain pose this time, you'll step the right leg back as far as you can, arriving in that crescent lunge that we're now familiar with. Spin your right toes open and open your arms nice and wide for warrior 2. So you're looking down at your feet, trying to find a heel to arch alignment, lifting up that inner arch so that your back baby toe can grip the mat. Take a big breath in your warrior 2 as your gaze pierces over the front fingertips at the front of your mat. And now we'll drop the back arm. Your right arm drops down. The left arm reaches nice and high for your reverse warrior. Continue to squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back side so you can remain open and soft in your chest. One more big inhale here. And then exhaling, bring that left elbow to the left thigh and reach this right arm either forward, if that feels good for you, getting that long line of energy, or straight up. Either way, you're opening up your chest, using this elbow on the thigh to help you keep the knee open as well. We'll take one more big breath here in your extended side angle, and then make your way right back up into your warrior 2. Stretch out through the fingertips, take a big deep inhale here, and then you're going to shift your weight forward. Exhale, step into mountain pose at the top of your mat. Shake that off if you need to, and we'll come right away into our second side. Inhale, circle sweep, arms all the way up nice and high. Exhaling, hands back down to heart center. We'll start with the left foot this time. Step that left foot back, come into a nice wide leg stance with your crescent feet, and then spin those left toes all the way open, coming into your warrior two. Your shoulders are stacking over your hips, your arms are reaching out really nice and wide, and your gaze is piercing towards the front fingers. You can check in with the alignment of your feet. You've got a heel to arch alignment, and that back toe is gripping the mat. Take one more breath. On your inhale, drop the left arm or back arm. Inhale to reach your front arm up and over, reverse warrior. Feeling a nice big side body stretch all the way through that right side of your body. And your chest is open. One more inhale for your reverse warrior. And now exhale, bring your right elbow to the right thigh. And just as we did before, either reach the left fingertips out at an angle towards the front, or stack them straight up out of your left shoulder towards the ceiling. Continue energetically pressing your right elbow into this right thigh to open up your hip. You have one more breath as you remain active in the top arm. And then use this top arm to help you lift back up into your warrior two, broadening out through the shoulders. Keep that nice deep bend in your front leg. And now when you're ready, we'll exhale, come into that mountain pose at the top of your mat. Inhale, circle sweep arms all the way up nice and high. Exhaling to swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthening legs and chest. And then exhale, plant your hands, step back to high plank pose. And then from your high plank, send those hips up nice and high. Downward facing dog. We have 3 breaths to reset. I might take dolphin this time. Pressing your elbows into the mat if you want to. Remember, you can stay in down dog or child's pose. One more here as you reconnect and reset with the feeling that you are creating. And then if you are in another option other than downward facing dog, go ahead and make your way back to down dog. Inhale in down dog all together, filling the lungs, and then open your mouth, exhale. Gazing between your hands, lift your heels, bend the knees, stepping or hopping into forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to find halfway lift, lengthen legs and chest. Exhaling all the way back down for that forward fold. Mountain pose, rise up all the way, hands to the sky. Exhaling, hands to heart center. And now we'll take a little bit of a balance on this version. We're going to shift the weight into your left foot, and then you have a couple options, so I'll turn to you so you can see. Option number 1 is to keep the toes on the ground, and you're going to bring that heel just inside, and you'll bring your hands to heart center, opening your knee out wide. Option 2 is just to slide that leg up around your calf muscle, and now you're pressing your foot and your calf together. Option 3, we want to actually come up and above that knee. We don't want to put any extra pressure on the knee. Connect your heel to that inner groin, and you're still opening your knee out nice and wide. Hands can stay at heart center, or they can float up. And if you really want to challenge your balance, you can start to sway side to side. Feel free to be a little bit open with what happens in your body, and if you wobble and fall out, know that it's all right, and you can come right back in. Maybe take another breath here to play with your balance, connecting with your center. And then on your exhale, we'll go ahead and let that go. Just give it a nice shake to reset the body. We'll come into that second side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhaling, hands back down to heart center. And we'll go through those options one more time. So with the left foot this time, you can keep the toes on the ground and feel your heel connect around your ankle. Option 2 is to slowly slide that leg up a little bit around your calf muscle, pressing both your foot and your calf into one another. And then last option, option 3 here, is to press your heel into the inner groin. Your inner groin is engaged and pressing right back. Once you feel satisfied there, you can reach your arms up. You can reach them out. You can even play with your gaze to challenge the balance. And if you took some type of variation on that first side, make sure you're still coming back to that here for your second side. Remember, it's okay to wobble. We all do. Inhale, come back. Exhaling, hands back to heart center. Release that foot down and give it a nice good shake. So let's take this back to the front of our mat. Inhale, arms super wide. Exhaling into your mountain pose. Inhale to find your halfway lift, lengthen legs and chest. Exhale, forward fold. And from our forward fold, we're just going to bend our knees so that we come all the way down to a seat. And from our seat here, we're going to cool it down a little bit. Well, let's open the legs out into a wide leg fold. So what we're really going for is about 90 degrees. You might need to lift the flesh of your seat out of the way, feel the sit bones connect, and we're gonna flex the toes towards our face and turn the knees back. Inhale to reach your arms up really nice and tall. Feel the ribs tuck in and your lower back lengthen. And now we'll shift forward, 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 until you can no longer maintain a flat back. Once you're here, your hands can connect with the mat. Peel your chest up so you can feel some length, and then slowly start to maybe reach the elbows down to the ground, or even reach your hands out to the ground, making sure you're still staying connected and toned through the midline, stopping anywhere you might need to. And then you can also start to tuck the chin into your chest so gravity can help your wide leg fold. You can take this as deep as you'd like or back off as much as you need. Remember, the practice is about feeling good in our bodies. We have one more breath here. On your next inhale, walk the hands slowly back in together. We'll lean back a little bit just to shake those legs out. And we'll come into a seated butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. The soles of the feet will come together. Your knees will open up nice and wide. And you can play with the distance of how close you bring these heels into your groin. Grab the ankles with your hands here. Now your elbows will press into the knees. And just as you did in that forward fold with the wide leg, keep the spine nice and long. And when you reach your chest forward, the elbows can help you press the knees down. And your belly is engaged, the spine is lifting. We'll stay lifted one more time while you actively press those knees away. And then I like to think about the belly scooping up and in towards the spine as I kind of roll down, reaching the forehead down towards the feet, deepening the stretch. Finding a nice big breath here, particularly where you might run into some resistance, and see if you can let that go. One more inhale. And exhale. Slowly begin to walk yourself right back up. You'll use your hands on the backs of your knees to lift the knees up nice and high, and extend the legs out long in front of you to give them a little shake. We'll scooch down on the mat so you can lay down, hugging the knees into your chest. Once the knees are in your chest, you can rock it out here side to side. And then we'll actually press the legs away into tabletop. Knees will stack over your hips. Your shins are parallel to the ceiling, and your arms will open out wide into a T. Start to pull the navel down to the spine so the lower back imprints on the mat, and then drop both of your legs over to the right for a nice spinal twist. Your right hand can rest on that top thigh, and your gaze can look over the left fingertips. Trying here to relax the belly, melt the left shoulder down to the ground, and let the breath become a little bit more natural. No longer feeling the need to control or push or do, but simply settling into the stretch. One more breath. Extend your right arm long. Inhale, reach both legs up to the sky. Reset if you feel like you need to. And when you're ready, we'll drop both legs over to the left. Your top arm or your left arm can rest on your top thigh, and gaze will look out over the right shoulder. And you might need to remind your body to relax and settle in. Feel free to do so. Allow the belly to soften, the shoulders to drop down towards the mat. One more breath. And then we'll inhale, hug those knees into the chest, giving it a nice tight squeeze. Perhaps you draw your forehead up to touch the knees for a nice little squish. And then when you are ready, exhale, extend the legs long, finding a final resting posture. You're more than welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. I thank you for sharing your practice and look forward to the next time we're together. Namaste.